Koalas functionally extinct after Australia bushfires destroy 80% of their habitat. Oh fuck. I really don't think there's a better reply here, so damn sad. It just breaks my heart. This picture is killing me. If you want to ugly cry and feel better about humans, watch the video in the article of the woman rescuing the koala, wrapping it in her own shirt, and taking it to a care facility. Poor koala crying in pain, it's truly heartbreaking. Ugh, I know, when she gives it the water and it's so desperate for a drop, fucking crushed my soul. Watching it walk up that fiery hill, and then hearing it cry was so sad. The walk through the fire and hearing it cry. I don't know if I became irrational, or I needed something to lash out at, but I became very upset, and yelled at God. I usually cry, but my reaction was intensely different seeing this. I did not realize how much of Australia is on fire now. Edit, deleted link to government fire safety site, due to too many views causing it to malfunction. Looks like that website's been hugged to death. Here's an alternate one. Edit 2, in the interest of people who use these sites as a matter of personal safety, perhaps consider refraining from visiting them. Here's a screenshot if you're interested. Edit 3, if you want, you can donate to animal hospitals, savathacola.com, Australia Zoo Wildlife Warriors, Port Macquarie Koala Hospital, etc. Even $20 goes a huge distance. Or just go with a global NASA map. What the hell is happening in Africa? It's on fire. Shit's on fire, yo. Guess you can no longer bless the rains in Africa. And landowners clear legally and illegally, not sure which is worse, the rest. The fact is there were 8 million a couple of hundreds years ago, and less than 50,000 a year ago. They were functionally pretty fucking close to being extinct before the fires. So let's not blame one incident and their demise, when the truth is their habitat has been decimated for centuries, by cutting down their ranges, and the impact on the populations of koalas has been well documented and understood. People in the suburbs never replace the more than 20-year-old trees. Consequently, the biological diversity is declining. Similarly, they replace native bush scrub with fucking lawns. That's another biodiversity killer. Who the hell convinced society that it was a good idea to cover our properties with a water-sucking weed that requires constant maintenance and yields absolutely nothing of value? England's climate. And England's people. Another huge biodiversity killer, carrot. Fucking wrecked, mate. It's alright man, the Indo-Europeans had their fun a while before that. So did the Africans. Only fair that you guys get something. They were already functionally extinct. This just hastens their actual demise. Sad, but only a small part of the currently progressing major extinction event. They only eat one thing, but they won't recognize it if you pick the leaves off the tree and put them on a plate. Also, they all have chlamydia. Yeah, like it's sad that koalas are dying out, but I'm seriously surprised at how long they lasted. They are a very successful species naturally. There were millions only about 100 years ago. It's not about how successful a species is in an utterly perfect environment, it's about how well they can adapt to change. The ones that go extinct often can't adapt to even absurdly minor changes and die. Like, if a 1-degree temperature difference will your entire species, you are just not going to last very long, even if there are 40 billion of you in the current year. As soon as anything happens, not even just human stuff, like a volcano etc erupting that impacts their habitat in any way, they're dead. Koala are uber ridiculously hyper-specialized, and are very fit for their perfect ideal environment and nothing else. But survival of the fittest is pretty brutal to anything that can't adapt to become fit in a changing environment. Edit, stop spamming saying humans are the problem. Yes, I know we are. I did not say anything about it not being our fault. My point was to the person above saying a species is a successful species because it had a high population in the past. Not being able to live in the current environment equals not successful. Yes, we as a species need to try and stop impacting the climate. That has nothing to do with my point. The uploader has not made this video available in your country. I'm Australian. But wait, don't worry about it, we can help fight the fires, if we cheer on our boys at the cricket. /s. For those unaware, I'm paraphrasing our own Prime Minister's tweet that basically demonstrated the complete lack of empathy of the Liberal Party. And for those reading this outside of Australia, Liberal Party of Australia equals conservative/right wing, not liberals as known to the US. Same thing here in the Netherlands. Libs and Dems are right wing here. You are right. This politic compass from Kies Compass is a good one. It's not just koalas. Everything that lives there can basically no longer live there. We are talking about the same rugged Australia, are we not? If you're referring to the immediate area around the brush fires, they will eventually recover, so long as there isn't still a brush fire. Some flora will thrive as a result of the ash as well. I don't welcome devastating fires like this, but nature will absolutely return to the area. Edit. To be clear, these are bushfires, not brush. Wildfires are a natural part of the region, you've got that right, but the ecosystems still need time to recover, especially with the severity of these fires. The problem we have now is that wildfires are ramping up in frequency globally, which endangers returning animal populations, because eventually there may not be a refuge for them to repopulate from. People need to realize that the effect of fire on a climate is a lot like the effect of water. Every place will have a little water. Some will have more than others. Some places thrive on getting a bunch of rain, but others might have severe floods and mudslides if they got that same amount of rain. Regardless of how much or little rain these places are used to, if you put the entire ecosystem completely underwater for a week, then everything is going to die. And maybe it could recover, but if you're putting it underwater 3 times a year, that ecosystem isn't going to just bounce back to how it was before. Similarly, fire. Some places get more fires naturally, some less. Some ecosystems rely on occasional fires, while others don't. But a blaze too intense or too long lasting is bad anywhere, and having those gigantic wildfires constantly devastates the ecosystem beyond repair. This is the best TL, Doctor I could make, original reduced by 69%, I'm a bot. The chairman of the Australian Koala Foundation, Deborah Tabart, estimates that over 1,000 koalas have been killed from the fires, and that 80% of their habitat has been destroyed. Many are urging the Australian government to enact the Koala Protection Act, written in 2016, but never passed into law, and molded after the Bald Eagle Protection Act in the US. The Koala Protection Act would work to protect habitats and trees vital to koalas as well as protect koalas from hunting. The funds will also be used for a koala rock as a refuge for burned koalas, to live in a healthy habitat during rehabilitation. Berejiklian bushfires #KOALAKILLER. What does Berejiklian mean? Looks like it might be an Indonesian word to me, but that doesn't seem to make sense. It's the last name of Gladys Berejiklian, who authorized large-scale landing clearing of NSW, and reduced the rural fire service budget by 37%, and reduced the amount of fire control officers within national parks by 75%. This had led to reduced ability to reduce fire loads in these areas, meaning the fires in the forests that are left burn hotter, longer over larger areas, basically making it impossible for animals such as koalas to seek refuge. So they joined the Panda Club, sad news for lovers of cute things, and koalas, mainly bad news for koalas. Pandas are actually recovering quite nicely, and are officially off the endangered list thanks to conservation work and the creation of national parks for them in China. You are technically correct, but the phrase off the endangered list should be avoided. People interpret this as success. They are safe, when in fact they were classified as only vulnerable instead of endangered, which underscores that vigilance must always be taken. That is fair. For those from other parts of world, it is like war zone over here for the past at least 2 months. Oh fuck, sounds about right. And which part of the country are you living in? Warzone is a bit of a dive into the realms of fantasy. For the people actively fleeing the fire, it's not a stretch to compare it to a war zone. Obviously, as you're chilling in Fitzroy, Melbourne or Glenelg, Adelaide, you're good though. I'm in regional QLD. Oof. Stay safe, mate. Cheers, it's not bad. Dry, but there hasn't been any fires for hundreds of kms. I hate hearing about koalas and sloths getting fucked by fire. Once they even smell the fire, they're already dead. As all the other animals stampede away, these helpless fuckers cling to a tree in slow motion. Sloths yes, koalas no. You're right. I looked it up, and they can run up to 10 kilometers per hour. For some reason I thought they moved around like sloths. Bushfires in Australia regularly travel 50 km/h, with the fastest moving fire fronts breaking 80 to 100 km/h. For those that are bad at maths, this means that a koala cannot outrun most fires.